this week's episode of Tech Talk, and this is a very special episode at that, because with us we have a special guest, and we have a very special topic. And our guest this week, by the way, I am Michael Armogan, your host, but our special guest is Miss Raquel Beneby-Hart.
Yes, you'll get it.
Miss Beneby-Hart, would you like to say anything to our guests this week before we begin?
Well, welcome to Tech Talk. It is indeed my pleasure to be here with Tech Talk. And so I trust that what I will say will be something that will inspire, motivate the technology community. And I trust that I'll also have an opportunity to learn as well. So I'm looking forward to this dialogue this afternoon.
Okay. So, Raquel, what is the story behind the Grand Bahama Technology Summit? By the way, for people, that is our topic today.
Well, the story behind the Grand Bahama Technology Summit is pretty interesting, yet simple. What it's all about is we have what I would say the government has a mandate to develop an offshore technology hub similar to that of Silicon Valley. And Grand Bahama is the proposed home for that. We started having inquiries and discussions, and we realized that the government is just that, the government. The government needed the input of the experts of the technology industry. So a summit is just that, a call to all of the stakeholders, to IT developers, everyone in every facet of the technology industry to be a part of a conversation, a dialogue that will help the government to shape policies that begins to set the next phase of developing Grand Bahama as an offshore technology hub. All of the infrastructure is in, but there are some things we know that we don't quite have. But we have a lot of land mass. We have a lot of things that's going for Grand Bahama. Its proximity to the United States. So it kind of gave some significant benefits that would, what I would say, would play greatly to us being a great home for an offshore technology hub. And so it came out of that. And so the government is just as is committed to do is maintaining its mandate, which is to facilitate a offshore technology hub.
Okay. And I know Grand Bahama is really suited for that just because of the infrastructure that it has for technology. So I think, that's a really interesting play on it. So essentially, how did you guys come up with the idea for it? I know you said you wanted to bring in people, but how did you get the idea of having this summit?
Well, we started to have, as I mentioned earlier, persons who were making inquiries. The conversation really started talking about data warehousing and it being the ideal place for that. And then some other conversations, persons, coming into the office of the Prime Minister, Grand Bahama, wanted to discuss as it relates to technology. And so it was just ingenious. Our minister said, hey, why don't we bring everybody to the table? And then we realized this table was getting very big. It was getting bigger. And so, hey, why does not make it a summit? And have everybody who wants to be a part of it just come and be a part of it. And so this summit has gotten the attention as far as Africa, China, Bermuda, and all throughout the United States of America and Canada. So we have these persons who have registered, who are going to be here this week, November 9th and 10th, here on Grand Bahama Island. And some have already are actually on island. Our first presenter came on island yesterday, along with investors who are interested in the technology industry, all the way from Silicon Valley.
Very nice.
And so they are interested. This is big for the Bahamas. Like I said, Grand Bahama may be the host city, but it impacts the Bahamas as a whole. And so this is that catalyst that is needed in Grand Bahama. My minister just recently said that tourism is not going to do it all by itself. And so we are even looking at the fact that technology can be the next industry. And so all of that is going to be a part of the dialogue. And so we're encouraging persons, whatever facet of the technology, engineering, science, and math field that you're in, to come and be a part of this conversation. We have notable persons who will be a part of this dialogue. Of course, the Prime Minister will be opening, but we have, of course, from Microsoft, we have Google, we have Dell, we have HP, we have the ICT industry, IBTEL, IBO. We have so many companies and so many to remember that will be a part of this event. And so we are just really excited of what this transition and transformation will mean for Grand Bahama and the Bahamas as a whole.
Okay. So earlier you mentioned your minister. Who exactly is that? Who's this seemingly, how should I put it? The guy with behind the plans.
Well, the guy behind the plans is short in stature, but big in ideas and big in heart, loves Grand Bahama. He is Senator the Honorable J. Kwesi Thompson, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister. And he's doing a magnificent job in facilitating and hosting this event. And so he wants it to happen and happen big. And so it is our responsibility to carry out his vision. And we're excited of how it's all coming together and happening for Bahamians, because it provides access, it provides opportunities, because we even have a global recruiter for Google who will be here as well. So we also see that as job opportunities as well that will be going down here as well. So if you're in the technology field and or you're an inventor or you see yourself as an innovator, this is the place to be, because we will have these kinds of people who are here, who are putting their money where their mouth is.
Okay. So just to help our listeners understand, what exactly are you hoping to achieve by having this summit?
Well, at the end of the day, what the intent is to be able to develop a policy that will govern this, facilitate this industry. We want to understand what infrastructure and incentives need to be in place, because it's going to be twofold. The first aspect of it has to do as it relates to building technical capacity locally. So we have the University of the Bahamas Northern Campus that has come on board in support of this in terms of offering the right educational classes that will be able to support building technical capacity locally. And so because of course we want the local involvement of our people, be it you from Grand Bahama or wherever in the Bahamas, because in essence, Grand Bahama will then become that, like we say, it's the hub, it becomes the capital of technology. And so it's just that we're that home, but it doesn't exempt anyone from Acklands to Inagua to be able to be a part of this technology hub. So firstly, we want to ensure that we build technical capacity to be able to handle the myriad of opportunities that will come. Secondly, we are showing the world that we are ready and open to do business here on the island of Grand Bahama. So what does it take for a Google or Microsoft to open up a regional office here? What does it take to start accelerator programs and incubators to be able to support these particular companies coming in? And so these are the various aspects. So coming out of this is going to be a policy paper that will give us that map that helps us develop the offshore technology hub that we discussed.
That sounds like a really like a really big plan for you that you guys are working on, and I think that's amazing when you really take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, thank you for that. I should say.
Yeah.
But who are you really looking to bring in? Who's your target audience?
Well, of course, primarily those in the technology field, and that's open, as we know. Innovators can be from, we don't think of it, but you could be from primary school all the way up to grandpa who still, have some ideas. But anyone who has ideas and ways of improving and doing great things, those involved in the STEM industry, science, technology, engineering, and math, they're all welcomed. But in addition to that, because of the impact, when we start talking about policy and governance, it impacts all industries. We talked about earlier about blockchains and cryptocurrency. So, of course, the financial industry want to hear that conversation. You're going to hear about digital impact on agriculture. So farmers want to be a part of this conversation. Education is a part of it in terms of technical capacity. Um, we may have to take a look at what programs are we offering in our school system to strengthen the innovation and technology aspect of it. So again, all areas are uh, that will possibly be impacted by this transformation and transition should be here. But of course, primarily it is geared towards the technology industry, but it is open to all. Wherever you are in the world, as long as you get this message, you are invited to come and be a part of this conversation. This is the first phase of many because it's a building process. And as we know with building, you lay a foundation, then you take it up to bell course, and then you put the roof on. And so we want you to be with us from the ground up. And so you are part of what takes place here in Grand Bahama.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is also the first of its kind within the Bahamas, isn't it?
I don't want to say yes, and I don't want to say no, because I'm not quite sure. I'm supposed to do some research because I've gotten that question a couple of times, but I think the magnitude of at which this is happening perhaps is the first. I'm sure there have been other technology summits or seminars or workshops,
Yeah.
but to this level, I think perhaps it may be the first, but I stand to be corrected by that. I would love to be able to say that we are the innovators in this area, but I am unable to conclusively say that.
Okay. Well, what are the future plans? Like, what's your vision? Is this going to be a one-time thing? Is it going to be annually, biannually, monthly, every 5 years?
Well, it has gotten so big. Persons already asking if annually. We are in discussions as it relates to how often it will be held. Perhaps every 2 years, because it allows us the opportunity to really reach out into the global community and bring those persons to the table. Believe it or not, we have put this together in less than 4 months. And so if we can do this in less than 4 months, could you imagine if we had a year and a half to really put something together? We would perhaps need all of Grand Bahama to host this event. And so I'm quite certain there are going to be some announcements that will be made in this regard during November 9th and 10th, because the demand is coming in, and that question, we get that every day. Is it going to be annual? How often is it going to be held? And so all I can say is stay tuned and all come, and you will know the answer to that question.
Okay. Well, just some details about the event. Like, where is it going to be held?
Well, first, let me start off to say that the theme of the event is making Grand Bahama the gateway to innovation and technology. It will be held November 9th and 10th at the Grand Lucayan Convention Center at the Grand Lucayan Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Well, we have a welcome event that will happen on Wednesday for all of the international guests who are coming in from all over the world. And so that is sponsored by Alive. But we kick off on Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. We have the welcome by our Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable J. Kwesi Thompson, and of course the official opening by the Prime Minister himself, who is excited and all about technology. And so he's been endorsing this program every opportunity he has. He's been speaking about this technology summit. And we have notable presenters who will speak on such topics as diversifying economy. We're talking about technology being a third pillar of the economy. How about the simple and obvious topic, which is building a technology hub? What does it take to be able to do that? And so it goes on. And of course, how could I have missed it out? We have the Blue Marlin Business Innovation Challenge. It's similar to Shark Tank. So we have
Okay.
persons who have actually submitted executive summaries on innovative business plans, and they will be given up to $10,000. So they're going to have that opportunity to pitch. But what's more valuable than that is the fact that they're pitching to Google, to Microsoft, and to these StartX accelerators, all these major United States based Silicon Valley companies. And so that there is priceless. We also have Cloud Creep that is in Nassau that will also be providing up to $12,000 in cloud services. We have a live who is giving away what they call My Fives. We have the Grand Bahama Port Authority, who is also waiving business license for 1 year and providing training. So a part of this Blue Marlin Business Challenge is a 3-part component, which is the training, the funding, and the business mentoring or incubation process, because we want to ensure that we have sustainable businesses. And so we are matching the participant with business persons to ensure that they not just only have an idea, but they're able to ensure that they have a sustainable business built from that idea. And so there's just so many facets to this program. Every time I talk, I keep remembering something else. And so the only thing I can say is come and be surprised. It'll be a weekend you'll never forget here on Grand Bahama Island, where, guess what? We do everything grand.
I think it's great that you guys are also like giving that back end support to make sure that, you know, they start up a new business, you know, it doesn't fall down within that next year just because, you know, you didn't get that proper mentoring or like support just to keep it going. I think that's great, especially for those new persons. So, what's the entry fee? And are there any fees for like attending or any other thing like that?
No registration fee, no entry fee. It's all free. All you have to do is go to www.grandbahamatechsummit.com, register online, and come. Just be there. So there's no charges at all to be a part of this event. So all it takes for you, if you're coming from somewhere within the Bahamas, New Providence or Acklands or Abaco, Exuma or Andros, just register, and the only thing you have to do is get yourself on a plane and get here, and that's it. And we have, we're thankful to the Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board, who have been working with ferry services, who've been working with the airlines, also for international purposes. We have packages. Avis Rent a Car, they're doing a special. And so, of course, we have the taxi drivers, the bus drivers. Everybody's on the island, all a part of this. This island has actually come together in many different facets to ensure that this is a good success. And so we're ready. We're ready to do business. And we want to show you that Grand Bahama is the place to be.
Okay, now you mentioned packages. Like, so how do I go about, say if I live in Miami, for example, how would I go about to, say, use the package to come down and visit the event? Or, you know, anywhere in the world, how do I do that?
All you have to do is go to our website and click on Book and Stay, and that will take you to www.grandbahamavacations.com, and you will go to the landing page of the Grand Bahama Technology Summit, and you will see the hotel and airfare packages that are available to you. So we have different hotel and airfare packages depending on your budget. And so we have it from the very, very conservative budget to the very, very extensive budget. And so, you know, wherever you fall in that grouping, we have something that matches your pocket. And so you can go to that. Let me give you the website again. It's www.grandbahamatechsummit.com, or you can go to the Apple or Google Play stores and download the app. It's also there as well. So
you guys have an app.
Yeah.
Nice.
We have an app. You can't have a technology summit without an app. So everything is there. It gives you the schedule of the event. It gives you highlights about the speakers. It gives you, it also allows you to give us some feedback as well, because from this feedback, it'll help us determine where do we go from here, and what do we do. And so it's very interactive. And so, yes, we do have an app.
Okay. So would you like to tell any sponsors who might be listening, or possible sponsors who may be looking to come at a later event, anything like that?
Well, guess what? First of all, in Grand Bahama, everything is simply grand. And so you have to be a part of this. This is an opportunity to provide access and opportunity for just not only Grand Bahama, but the Bahamas, and by extension, the world. And so if you want to be a part of the world platform, we invite you to be a part of the Grand Bahama Technology Summit. And we are thankful for those who have already caught the vision To our title sponsor, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we say thank you. To our innovation sponsor, Alive, we say thank you. And to our supporting sponsors, let me see if I can get all these names correct. We have Cloud Carib out of New Providence. We also have that's Quantum Data Management. We say thank you. We also have Network and Security Consulting Group. We say thank you. We also have that's Global Sun Integration Management. We say thank you. Of course, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. We say a special thank you. And so these persons have caught the vision. They're already sitting at the table. And if you notice, a lot of them are technology-based companies. And so they understand what this means, the implications, because the world is changing. It's evolving right in front of our very own eyes. And they've opted to be a part of the change than to stand by and watch change in front of them. And so guess what? If you want to be a part of the change, we say come on board and be a sponsor. And we want to say thank you to you at Tech Talk. Thank you, Michael, for giving us this opportunity to have our voice heard throughout the world. You know, the world is smaller by means of technology. And so we're just really excited just to be a part of Tech Talk as well.
Well, you're most welcome. Now, I am curious. Who are all of the organizers behind this event? I know there's you, there's the minister. Who else is actually behind this thing? I mean, I'm glad it's happening, so I'd like to be able to
We
say
have
thanks.
the most awesome team at the Office of the Prime Minister Grand Bahama. And I am just, I'm humbled and honored to work with a group of dynamic persons ranging in all ages. So we get the wisdom, we get the energy, we get a little bit of everything. We get the jokers and the fun ones that when things get extremely intense, who know how to make us laugh at times. And so we're just grateful to an awesome staff of almost about 50 plus persons at the Office of the Prime Minister Grand Bahama, of course, headed by our minister and, of course, our permanent secretary, acting Harcourt Brown, myself, who's the lead, and, of course, our office manager, Lady Naomi Wallace-Bickfield, who heads the secretariat for the summit. Her and her team, they have just been awesome. Our media team, who have been putting and posting on our social media sites, they've been working diligently. And of course, outside of the Office of the Prime Minister, we have supporting ministerial relations with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, with the Public Hospital Authority. Also, we have with us the Ministry of Tourism, Grand Bahama Island Tourism Board. We also have non-governmental agencies such as Kenai Media. We also have Mikal Electronics, and all of those whose names I cannot remember right now, who will probably kill me after this. I say thank you to Grand Bahama as a whole, because they're all stepping in and doing their part by sharing. We have so many persons who have just stepped in, who just volunteered. And so Grand Bahama is excited about it. And so we just have Grand Bahama as a whole to thank. And, you know, I would be remiss knowing my minister if I don't say this. To God be the glory, great things he has done. Because for many of us, we've been wanting and wishing, okay, what is going to be that thing? And so this has been that initiative that has brought Grand Bahama together in every facet to come together and work, because we've caught the vision that the minister has shared, and we're all working and pushing behind this vision for the economic revitalization of Grand Bahama.
I think that's amazing. Really and truly amazing. And so I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for actually agreeing to have this interview. And I know you're busy and taking some time out to do it right today of all days.
If you may, Michael, I have to say this to those who will watch this. I am not cross-eyed. It's just that I pulled on the side of the street and we have our youth parade that is going on. And so there's a lot of activities over to my right and to my left. And so if I did not look in the camera directly, my humble apologies to you. But I do thank you for understanding that there is a lot that's going on around me. And so since it's kind of informal and lighthearted at the same time, please, audience, Raquel, yes, I can look you straight in the
eye. Well, everyone who's watching, like she says, just make sure, if you can, come down to the event. It's going to be amazing. I am very sure that they've worked very hard for this, and so you will thoroughly enjoy it. And if you have a technology business or anything like that, maybe it's time to talk to a Google or a Microsoft or some incubator that can help boost your business here in the Bahamas as well, and maybe reach worldwide. You never know.
Yes.
So, thank you again, and everyone. Until next time, don't forget to watch our shows. You can subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/morecookies or facebook.com/morecookies. And you'll find our shows on our Tech Talk and our Esports Wrap shows. And until next time, take care.
Okay. Bye.